Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep today into something that maybe sounds a bit basic on the surface, how a gym is physically laid out.
Right. But the thing is, our source material today, it's this white paper, Facility Flow Optimization, by jthomas. He's a gym business expert, argues it's way more than just basic.
Yeah, he's saying your layout isn't just, where you put the squat racks is actually a huge, often missed driver of revenue.
Exactly. What's really interesting is this core idea that basically every square foot in your gym, it's acting like a
A
salesperson.
salesperson.
Yeah, it's either working for you, helping bring in money, or, kind of surprisingly, it could be actively pushing potential sales away,
Mm.
selling or repelling.
Wow, okay. That completely flips how you'd normally think about gym space, doesn't it? It's not just like overhead you have to pay for.
Precisely.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to get into the core ideas from this paper. We want to show you how rethinking your space strategically can turn your gym from just a workout spot into, well, a real revenue engine.
And the hook, the really fascinating part, is this idea that member decisions about buying extra services, retail, that sort of thing, they're not purely logical.
Ah, so it's emotional.
Deeply emotional, yeah. And heavily influenced by the environment itself, the way the space feels.
Okay, so that leads us straight into this hidden psychology of gym design that the paper talks about.
That's right. The fundamental idea is that buying decisions, especially in gym setting, are mostly emotional, not logical calculations.
Hmm.
So a really well-designed layout, one that feels intuitive, it reduces friction, it gets rid of that confusion and actually triggers positive feeling.
Like feeling comfortable or curious, maybe confident.
Exactly. Comfort, ease, curiosity, confidence, all those things that make someone feel good in the space.
So we're talking about designing the space on purpose to make people feel a certain way, a way that makes them want to explore more, maybe stay longer, and ideally spend a bit more. It's not just flow for safety or like making it look nice.
It's definitely more than just aesthetics. The source argues this isn't just theory. A good layout drives actual measurable results.
Okay, like what?
Well, for one, it naturally guides new members towards your higher value stuff, like making it obvious where the personal training area is or where they can find out about recovery services.
Makes sense. Less wandering around looking lost.
And it cuts down on decision fatigue, that feeling of being overwhelmed, not sure where to go next or what to even do.
Yeah, I hate that feeling.
When things are clear, simple, easy. It encourages people to take those small next steps. The paper calls them micro-commitments,
Micro commitments, like what?
like grabbing a sample of a protein bar or signing up for a quick free consultation. Small things that lead to bigger things.
And I guess if things are displayed nicely, easy to get to, and you already feel good because the space is comfortable, I can see how that makes you more likely to make an impulse buy, like grabbing a drink or a t-shirt.
Absolutely. And the flip side is just as important. A layout that's messy, confusing, or just feels awkward. It's not just unprofessional looking. The paper really hammers this home. It actively hurts your revenue. It creates these sort of psychological roadblocks and negative feelings. It goes way beyond just looking bad.
So it's like a leak, but for money.
Kinda, yeah. A hidden revenue leak.
Okay, so how do you even start finding these leaks, these spots that are creating friction and costing you? How do you map out these lost revenue zones?
Well, the first step the paper lays out is actually pretty simple but easy to miss. You need to walk your facility,
Okay.
but not like you usually do. Walk it specifically pretending you're a member.
Hmm?
Even better, a brand new member who doesn't know anything.
Ah, fresh eyes.
Exactly. Pay really close attention. What's the absolute first thing you see and feel when you walk in? Is it super clear where to check in, where you should go next?
And thinking about things like, are there spots where people always seem to bunch up, maybe blocking the
Yep.
way?
Bottlenecks.
Or are there whole areas that feel kind of dead, like nobody ever goes there, underused zones?
Well, definitely. And crucially, where do those annoying traffic jams always happen? Especially during your peak hours. We all know those spots.
Oh, yeah. Around the dumbbell rack at 5:30 p.m.
Precisely. And the paper really stresses getting your team involved here. They're on the floor. They see this stuff all day.
Good point.
Ask them straight up, where do members always look lost? Where do tours seem to stall or get awkward? Which areas are totally ignored and which ones are constantly, frustratingly packed?
Okay.
So the map you build from all that feedback showing where the hesitation happens, the confusion, the crowding, that's your map of friction points. Those are your lost revenue zones, plain and simple.
Right. Okay, so you've done the walk, talked to the team, you've got this problem map. Where does the paper say you should start reimagining the space to actually make money. Is there like a priority area?
Definitely points to a few key areas,
Mhm.
and it starts right where people walk in, the front desk.
Okay, the front
The
showroom.
paper really elevates its role. It calls it a sales command center, not just a place to say hi and swipe a card.
A sales command center. Huh. That's a different way to think about it. How does that actually change the physical setup?
It means you're deliberately using that high traffic spot for sales. You're thinking about strategic placement for retail supplements, maybe some branded gear, quick snacks, water bottles.
Stuff people might grab on the way in or out.
Exactly. And having dynamic signs, maybe digital ones, that rotate. Promoting Current offers PT specials, new classes, refer a friend deals.
Using those screens for more than just the logo.
Right. Showing quick promo videos, maybe member testimonials, and importantly, making sure your best people, the ones who are good at engaging members, are stationed there during your busiest times.
And the paper gives a pretty specific target for that, right? Something about aiming for significant extra revenue just from the front desk retail.
Yeah, it mentions a goal like adding $1,500 or more per month just from that front desk retail, which really shows the potential they see there.
Wow. Okay, that number might vary, but it shows they're focused on real, measurable results from these changes.
Absolutely. It's about tangible impact. And moving beyond the desk, another big focus is on retail displays and sample stations.
Okay, more retail.
Because retail is often an impulse thing, right?
Yeah.
So placement is everything. The paper suggests spots near check-in and exit, obviously, but also maybe right outside the locker rooms
Oh, interesting. Catching people coming or going.
or along those main walking paths,
Yeah.
like the route most people take when they go from cardio over to the weights area.
Makes sense. You walk past it every day.
And you can boost it with simple stuff, like putting mirrors near displays makes people pause, using QR codes so someone can quickly scan to buy something on their phone or maybe see an upsell.
Oh, clever.
Having staff actively offer samples during peak times, or doing a product of the month feature with a little discount. It's all about making that impulse buy super easy and attractive, right where people already are.
Okay, what else? What about personal training? That always feels like a tougher sell.
Yeah, and visibility is key there. The paper's principle is simple. If PT is out of sight, it's out of mind. If your trainers or info about their services are kind of hidden away in an office or a back corner, members just don't think about it as part of their regular gym experience.
So you need to make it obvious, like create a dedicated PT zone that people can actually see.
Exactly. Make it clear, maybe visually distinct. Display trainer bios, those impressive before and after photos, maybe a member success wall.
Build some social proof.
Right. Use clear signs that pose questions like ready for faster results or ask us how to break your plateau. And make sure any place you do consultations isn't hidden away. Put it near where people walk.
So it feels more accessible.
Yeah, approachable. Even something simple like having a visible desk where trainers have set office hours can make a difference, makes them seem less intimidating.
So the whole visual message is PT is here, it's for everyone, it helps you get results.
Precisely. It's not just for, elite athletes or something.
Okay, what about group fitness? Classes, small group training, that seems a bit different, maybe less of an impulse buy, more about community?
True, community and consistency are big drivers there.
Yeah.
But getting people into those classes in the first place, visibility still matters hugely.
How so?
The source suggests making the energy of the class visible and contagious. If you can, use glass walls or big windows for your Group X rooms. Let people on the main floor see the movement, the fun happening inside.
Oh, I like that. Creates FOMO, maybe? Fear of missing out?
Kind of. Use big dynamic digital boards showing the class schedule in high traffic spots. Put up clear signs pointing the way from the cardio area, the strength floor, even the PT zone.
So no matter where you are, you're reminded about the classes.
Yeah, and maybe even show short video clips of classes playing on TVs in the lounge area or near the front desk.
Yeah.
Let people see the vibe before they even try it.
Make it look inviting and energetic from all angles. Okay.
And finally, the paper points out two spots that are often totally overlooked as marketing opportunities: locker rooms and any member lounges.
Locker rooms. Really? Seems like an odd place to sell stuff.
Think about the downtime people have there. You can strategically display things related to, say, recovery or convenience. Maybe showcase premium towel options or recovery drinks and tools.
Mm-hmm.
Use QR codes, link them straight to a page where someone could easily sign up for a cold plunge session, book a massage, or upgrade their towel service. It's subtle, but it catches them when they're relaxed.
And the lounge, if you have one.
Oh, that's prime real estate for passive marketing. If there's a TV, Loop member success stories, promos for upcoming events like Bring a Friend Days, Referral contest info, testimonials.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah. Have flyers easily visible for social events or challenges. Those comfortable, relaxed spots are perfect for letting members absorb your messages without feeling like they're being sold to.
Right. So beyond optimizing these specific zones, the paper also talks a lot about fixing bottlenecks. We touched on finding them, but why is actually fixing them so critical for the revenue side?
Because all that confusion, waiting around, feeling crammed in,
Yeah.
it doesn't just annoy people, it kills any sales momentum.
How?
Well, think about a tour. If you hit a major bottleneck, it creates a really negative first impression. Or if the workout floor is constantly overcrowded and uncomfortable, member satisfaction drops. That hits retention, which is your recurring revenue.
Yeah, it makes the whole experience feel like a hassle instead of something positive.
Exactly. It undermines everything else you're trying to do.
The paper had some good practical examples of fixes, too. Like, what about those narrow pathways in the cardio section that always get jammed?
Simple fix? Often. Just reorient the machines, angle them differently, create wider paths, smoother flow.
And the line backing up at the front desk during busy times?
Consider adding a self-check-in kiosk, or even just creating clearly marked separate lanes for entry and exit can help manage the flow.
What about the classic problem? The dumbbell area scrum, or waiting for a squat rack?
Yeah, perennial issues. The paper suggests things like getting duplicates of the most popular dumbbell weights and spreading them out. Same for plates. Or spreading similar types of equipment across different areas to disperse the crowd.
And for super high-demand stuff like squat racks?
You could get creative. Maybe launch a PT Power Hour, where trainers have priority use, highlighting the value of PT. Or even consider offering a paid premium access time slot for members who absolutely want guaranteed access.
Interesting options. And those awkward dead zones on tours where the guide kind of pauses and members look confused?
Fix that with clear visual pathways. Use prominent signs, maybe floor markings, or strategically place eye-catching displays that naturally lead people through the space, smoothly highlighting the key areas as you go. No more awkward stops.
Okay, this all sounds like it could be a pretty big project, maybe involving actual construction or moving heavy stuff. But the source seemed really clear that this isn't just about making it look nicer, right? Not just a renovation.
That's one of the strongest takeaways, I think. The paper really emphasizes reimagining your gym space isn't renovation in the traditional sense. It's about profitability.
Right.
You absolutely have to implement these changes with clear revenue goals in mind.
Which means actually setting specific financial targets for each area you change. Like, how much more do you want to sell from the front desk retail? How many more PT consults booked? What kind of bump in class attendance are you aiming for with better visibility?
Exactly. Measurable goals. And, crucially, training your whole team. It's not enough for them just to know where the equipment moved.
They need the why.
They need the why, and they need to know how to use the new layout as part of how they interact with members, how they sell. And when you make these changes, market them. Tell your members these are upgrades, improvements to their experience. Don't just let them see it as disruption.
Good point. Frame it positively.
And then, track everything relentlessly. Look at your before and after numbers. Overall revenue, sure, but also tour conversion rates, PT bookings, class signups, retail sales per member. Measure the actual dollar impact of optimizing that flow.
There was that quote from the paper that really nailed it. Redesign is not renovation, it's reimagination with the revenue goal. That sums it up perfectly.
It really does. It captures that whole philosophy of treating your physical space as an active business tool.
So, boiling it all down, the absolute core message from this deep dive into Jim Thomas's white paper is, your gym, the physical building, is a sales environment. Every single part of it.
Yeah. And if that environment's flow is broken, if it creates confusion, frustration, or just hides your best offerings, then you've got serious revenue leaks.
And those aren't leaks that just having enthusiastic staff or running a discount can completely plug up. The space itself is working against you.
Exactly. The environment becomes a barrier.
So the paper's conclusion is pretty powerful. If you intentionally reimagine your space, design it strategically so it smoothly guides people, invites them to look around, and naturally leads them towards engaging more deeply, and yes, converting.
Yeah.
You unlock revenue that was just sitting there, hidden.
And you do it while actually improving the member experience and strengthening your brand. You create a gym that sells effectively, but without that aggressive, pushy sales feeling.
It's about making the environment so intuitive that the things you want members to do, explore services, buy things, stay engaged, feel like the easiest, most natural path for them to take.
Well put. The path of least resistance leads to revenue.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Try to step back from just thinking about how people use your gym space to physically work out, lifting, running, stretching.
Right.
And think instead about how the layout itself, the physical environment, is maybe unconsciously influencing their decisions, their feelings, their behaviors beyond just the exercise. Is your space actively guiding them towards growth and deeper engagement? Or are there maybe some hidden barriers, some friction points that you just haven't noticed yet?